everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today we've got the reveal for our second set of bottoms for the Great Module Sew Along. Okay, I mentioned it before, but all 6 of my pants that I am using and or making, whatever, for this module, I'm doing 3 modules for this challenge, are all pants. For whatever reason, that's just what I was feeling for this. So I have 3 more pairs, actually 4 pairs of pants. I'm going to show you right now because I did make a muslin that turned into a wearable muslin for one of the pairs of pants, and it's totally going into my closet. So let's get started. We will start with module 1. Before I show you the finished pants, so these are the Hollywood trousers by Liesl & Co. Love, very impressed with her patterns. Her instructions were extremely detailed. Her patterns are a little more expensive. And also the printed patterns and the digital patterns are the same price, which seems a little odd to me because digital patterns, I mean, there's overhead associated with a printed pattern, not with a digital, but anyway, whatever. Printing them out, I bought PDFs. I bought it in another one that actually you'll see on Friday. But when you print them off, they are gridded with this 1-inch grid, which actually makes taping them together really, really easy. I just found that it taped together super easy, made it really easy to do any alterations to the pattern, which of course I had to do a few things. Yeah, I just was very, very pleased with everything. And again, the instructions were excellent. So for my first pair of pants, I was a little unsure about sizing. So I made a size 10, straight size 10. I didn't increase anything for my waist. My waist is actually starting to go back to normal a little bit. I've been seeing a doctor, so yay. But anyway, I wanted to test fit. So I made a straight size 10. I love it. I used the, this is the yellow tablecloth that I thrifted when I was in Florida. And it was meant just to kind of be just a muslin really, but once I started to get into it, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna do these as the unlined pair of pants because this pattern comes lined or unlined. So I made these as the unlined version, so a little more casual than the other ones, my final ones, but over the moon with these fit. So again, this is a linen that was a tablecloth, start off life as a tablecloth, and I still have enough to do like a skirt or something if I want to. This pattern has these really nice, they're the side pockets, but they kind of set in just a little bit so they don't pull really. Although I don't have a lot of curve to my hip, so I'm not the best person to judge on, you know, sometimes those side pockets on pants can create wings, so I'm not really the best person to probably talk about that. But it does on the inside. It has a pocket stay, so the pocket goes all the way to the front fly, which makes a really nice smoothing effect. I will pop a pic, actually, some footage of me in this, just so you can see. This was a button, a vintage button that I just had. My mother-in-law picks up buttons for me when she's at garage sales, and this came from a little haul she did for me. I used a gray zipper just because that's what I had in my stash. Let's see, I used some silk, actually the silk from my Bond shirt, to some scraps to do all of my pocketing. What did I end up doing? I left the length as is because I wasn't sure how much I wanted to shorten them. I ended up shortening them 3 inches, and then plus there's a 2-inch hem on the pant, but that is what is in the pattern is a 2-inch hem, which is really nice for this leg. I also ended up having to go back in and scoop the back crotch curve right where the crotch curve has the curve part. I deepened that by 3/8 of an inch because I needed just a little bit more room for my tush. Now that I've started working out again, my tush is coming back just a little bit. It's starting to change a little. So I think I'm gonna have to start doing that alteration again. I haven't had to do that for a while. And those are the only alterations I made to this pattern. I made a straight size 10. Now, when these are finished, I thought that the legs, I'm short, I'm only 5'2", and I am gonna wear these with some sort of a heel or a wedge, but I felt like the legs were just a teeny tiny bit too wide for my frame. But I left these as is. So that is the test pants. So when I cut out my pant for the module, I took out an inch of width on either side of both the front, no, just the back, I guess. Just the back. And I used my S8056 pants as a reference for that. And I'm very pleased with the end result. So here are my final pants. These are made up in a wool silk blend from my mentor Joyce's patterns or fabric stash. I actually washed this. There were a couple of water damage spots on the fabric. So I thought, well, I'm gonna give it a wash. If it's, you know, comes out awful, it comes out awful. So I washed it in the washing machine on a delicate cycle with a delicate detergent and then let it air dry. And actually it came out wonderful. It almost has a little bit of a seersucker effect, if you can see that. I love these pants. I love how they came out. And for this version, I did fully line them in some silk, also from Joyce's stash. This is kind of it's almost a China silk, really, except it does have a shiny side. So I don't know what you would call it. A really, really thin silk charmeuse. It's definitely, I don't know that I would make a garment out of it, but lining, it was perfect for that. And I had just enough. I mean, it's like it was meant to be. Now, I was a little worried that this would show, the pattern would show through onto the other side of the pants, but this wool silk is thick enough and I no issues at all. So I did the same pocket. I went ahead and took 3 inches off the length of the pattern before I cut these off. Before I cut these out, and then I also went ahead and scooped that crotch curve on these before I cut them out. They fit phenomenally. In fact, these are more comfortable than the yellow ones, probably because the fabric has just, I keep throwing off my white balance, there we go. Just a little bit more just a little bit more give. I mean, the waistband is completely interfaced, but just the fabric has just a little bit more give. Let's see, they're fully lined. I did the, like a little, crocheted carrier to keep the lining in place so it doesn't get all twisted in the leg. Yeah, it's got the same pockets. It's got the pocket stays that go across to the front. I used a button from Joyce's stash. It's just it's a bone button, a really nice bone button. I just really like these. And I like the thinner, the narrower, a little bit narrower leg. They just sewed up really quick considering what they are. They have 2 darts in the back, no back pockets, which I'm actually okay with, and I think it's a smoother silhouette a little bit. And I really love the way that these pants turned out. These are gonna get so much wear. I mean, they're a nice ivory color. They're just, yeah. Okay. Module 2, pair of pants, are the North Point pants. A lot of hangers here. These are the North Point pants from Itch to Stitch. Now, these pants are meant to be made with a stretch woven. I, however, had great vision of making a knit suit, so I made them out of a Ponte. And I'm kind of digging it. Sometimes that can go horribly wrong when you're playing around with fabrics. So this is a pine cone, I believe is the name, but it's a Ponte from Blackbird Fabrics. I did use a cotton shirting for the pockets. You've probably recognized that fabric. This also has pocket stays in it where the pocketing, the woven pocketing goes all the way to the fly, so that keeps everything nice and smooth, especially with, well, stretch woven, or this is a Ponte, obviously. Let's see, what did I do to the pattern? I made a straight size 8, and I didn't make any adjustments to the pattern. I waited until the end to decide my hem length because I wanted these to sit right above, like right at my ankle, just a little bit above. I like them just a little bit cropped. So I left the length as is, and then when I went to hem is when I cut off the length. So these have a completely interfaced waistband, and it has twill tape sewn into the seam allowance, just like my Liana stretch jeans. It works like a dream. You don't have any issues of the waistband stretching out at all, even though it's completely interfaced. I have interfacing on my slanted pockets so that I don't have to worry about those stretching out at all. So yeah, they're really comfortable. I did omit the welt pockets in the back. I just did the darts because I have found in my experience, I do not like welt pockets in Ponte fabric. I just think that even though they're interfaced and stuff, just Ponte catching on things, and when you have vertical stretch, like those get pulled open really easily, and I just don't like that look. That even happens a little bit sometimes with the stretch woven, although not a lot, because usually you don't have vertical stretch, it's just horizontal stretch with the stretch wovens. So I do love a welt pocket on the back, especially in a regular woven pair of pants, and then also sometimes in a stretch woven. But for a Ponte, I did not want that. So I left it nice and clean. I also left the belt loops off because I'm kind of digging that. I noticed that my Hollywood trousers don't use belt loops, and neither do these Simplicity trousers that I'll show you in a second. So I just left them off. And yeah, I'm really liking how that is. Now, I ended up taking 4 inches off the hem. Usually I have to lose 2 inches on itch to stitch patterns for them to hit me where they're supposed to hit me, and these are supposed to hit at the top of your foot, and I wanted mine a little bit shorter. I meant to take 3 inches off and mismeasured on one of the legs. So I had to cut the second leg at 4 inches as well. So I've done a teeny tiny hem on these. Like I've literally like serged and done a teeny tiny hem. But now that I have them on, I actually may go ahead and put the 1 inch hem in, which is what they're supposed to have. And yeah, and I think they might be okay, especially because the Ponte does have some vertical stretch, so they may grow a little bit as they're worn, which will add some length a little. So yeah, I may go back and change the hem on that. I'm undecided still. I'm gonna wash them because they could also shrink up a little bit as well, because this is a rayon nylon spandex blend, so they could shrink up a little bit with more washes. So I may wait on that just a little bit. But yeah, I'm very pleased with how these Ponte trousers came out, and I can't wait to show them to you with their matching jacket. So I'm actually working on the jacket right now. I don't have it finished, but I have big plans. I have just real big expectations, I guess, for what that's gonna look like. So those are bottoms for Module 2. And then my final set for Module 3 are my, sorry that was loud, my Simplicity 8056 pants, which you've seen before. This is part of my crazy suit. And as you all know, I am using its matching blazer for this third module as well. I love these pants so much. So this is a fabric from Minerva. It is a stretch cotton poly sateen, so it is shiny a little bit. I've done a sew-along for this pants pattern actually. I use different fabric, but I do have a sew-along under the sew-along tab on the playlists on my channel if you're interested. But I love these pants so much. There's just a lot of room for alterations if you need them. Yeah. I really love this pant pattern. Again, these were made up before. These were made up last March, so I've had these in my closet for a while, and I've just been I've been wearing the blazer quite a bit. It's matching blazer, but I don't know why I've been just a little more reticent to wear these out of the house, but I'm kind of embracing it because they're just amazing. They're right in my colors, and I think they're flattering. They're a boot cut, and they flare at the bottom, and I love them with a little bit of a heel because I left them a little bit long, so they kind of make my legs look longer, and they are they're not a low rise, they're a mid rise, so they hit like an inch below my belly button, which I think helps elongate my torso a little bit. So that is the third pair of pants for this module. Isn't it fun with this shirt? You'll get to see that combination at the very end. At the very end of the challenge, because this is a shirt for Module 2. Keeping all the modules separate till the very end. But those are my last 3 bottoms for my 3 modules. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I just want to give a quick reminder, people have been sending me emails and or DMs on Instagram with links if you have a blog or a YouTube channel where you've talked about or showing your progress for the Great Module Sew Along. Send those to me, because after the challenge is over, I want to do a roundup of all those posts. So, I mean, the idea, Carla and I had the idea that hopefully the hashtag will just continue after the challenge is over, because I think it's a lot of fun and we can be easily inspired by one another. So I thought doing a roundup after the challenge is over, just so anything that you may have missed, any blog posts, any videos that you may have missed that people have done, it'll be great inspiration going forward. So make sure you send me those if you have any of those links. All right, that's all I have for today. On Friday, I'm sharing with you the last of, or not the last, but some of my Minerva makes recently, and then a couple of things that I made at my sewing retreat back in January that you haven't seen yet. So yeah, that's what we have on Friday, and then Sunday is the last day of our Huxley bag sew along, so you'll get to see the finished bag. It's amazing. I really love it. It's been being carried around a lot. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all on Friday. Bye.